Hello everyone and welcome back. So I figured we'd go ahead and jump on in with today's video. We are going to go ahead and start by priming the eyes with the P.LOUISE base in the shade number 2. And you do want to take any kind of synthetic flat brush. I am using, I believe it's the MAC 135. I will link it down below. It's just that the number is rubbed off from being used and loved so much. But then we are going to go ahead and take our finger and then go ahead and pat that on out just so we have a nice smooth surface. And then we are going to go in with the Morphe 35H palette, and we're going to start off with that beautiful burgundy shade. It's called Party On. And I am going to go ahead and use the Morphe JS11 brush. You do want to make sure you do pack everything on first before you start blending. You just want to make sure the color is there before you start obviously blending it out. Then we are going to take the JS12 brush and we're going to go ahead and take a little bit more of that shade and just go ahead and start buffing it on out. You do want to make sure you have that outer crease more blown out instead of just having like that harsh compact line. So you do want to take your time and use very little pressure and just blend that on out. Then of course everything you do to one side, you want to do it to the other side as well. You just want to make sure you take your time and blend everything out. I didn't realize how good, well, obviously I knew how good the P.LOUISE eyeshadow base was, but my friend Paige, she literally told me last week when I was doing her Grinch look, why have you not bought it? So of course I splurged and bought it. So now we are going to go in with the shade Heat Up, and we're going to go ahead and put that right above the crease line and just buff the two shades together. And you do want to make sure you use very light pressure when you're buffing the two shades in. You want to make sure everything is blended seamlessly. But then we are going to go ahead and take the shade Social Blade from the James Charles and Morphe palette. It's a gorgeous yellow that we did use on our Grinch look a couple of videos before. So if you haven't checked that out, you do want to make sure you go ahead and check out that video. But we are going to buff that on the very tip where we did put the Heat Up shade. And you just want to make sure you blend the two out. And as you could tell, I didn't realize it was almost like a sunset look I was trying to achieve, but not so much with the orange. So we are going to go back in with a Heat Up shade and just blend the two shades together. You do want to make sure the yellow and a little bit more of the Fire Truck Red is more blended so there's no harsh lines. So then we are going to go back into the Morphe palette and use the brown shade All Night Long. It's a gorgeous deep brown shade, and we are just going to go ahead and smoke that out just a little bit. You do want to go ahead and pat that on and then slowly blend that out. And I was on Pinterest one night and I did stumble across this picture, and this is the look I did want to go ahead and do for tonight. So we are going to go ahead and take a black eyeliner. Any black eyeliner would do the job. And we are going to go ahead and just do a small wing. Then we are going to go ahead and go in with the Lit Cosmetics Glitter Glue. They are the sweetest company when they do ship your package. They send you a handwritten letter as well as like a little gift. But we are going to go ahead and go in with their glitter topper as well in Champagne Wishes. So we are going to dip our brush in the glitter glue first, and then we're going to pat that all over the eyelid where you do want to place that glitter. And then we are going to tip that same brush into the glitter as well. And you're just going to pat that on the eyelid. And I was literally shook. Like, not just shocked, I was shook of the color payoff. Like, that is the most gorgeous color I've ever seen in a glitter. It's so finely milled, you barely felt it on your eye, and it was just gorgeous. And then you are going to go in with a chunkier glitter. I did go in with the chunky glitter from Amazon. It's called Charisma Beauty. I will make sure I link it down below. I forgot the shade, but it's the gold shade when you do purchase the pack of 6. And then you are going to be using the same brush. You're going to dip it into the glitter glue and then just dip the brush straight into the glitter. And can you just see how gorgeous that is? It's definitely heavy on the eyes, I will admit it, but it is just so gorgeous for a good night out or for a night in like me every day, all day. So then we are going to be taking a makeup wipe and we're going to go ahead and wipe off the excess glitter and any fallout that we did receive. And then we are going to be taking the Maneater Tarte Mascara. And we are just going to go ahead and do one coat on our lashes. I wasn't a fan of this mascara, but I did like how they did separate the lashes, but there was definitely no volume. So then we are going to go in with the Allure eyelashes. They are in the style 180. I wasn't a big fan of them. Maybe it was the way I would put them on, but I have worn lashes for 2 years, so I don't think that was the case, to be honest. But they were just a little too long and a little too like downward for my taste. So we are going to go in with the Benefit POREfessional Primer because if you know me, these craters need to be covered. And then we are going to go in with the Touch and Soul Glassy Skin Balm. This stuff makes your skin feel so hydrated. It's so nourishing. I'm obsessed with it. And then we are going to be going in with our tried and true, the Maybelline Matte and Poreless in the shade 120. We poured way too much on our hand. So then we are going to go ahead and take our beauty sponge. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today. We are going to be taking our beauty sponge and go ahead and buff that all over the skin. I love the coverage. I love how lightweight it feels and just everything about this foundation. If you definitely need a full coverage drugstore foundation, this is a good one to go for. And then we are going to be going in with the Dose of Colors concealer in the shade 15 light medium. I'm slowly getting used to this concealer. I'm just not the biggest fan because it does crease underneath my under eyes. Maybe because I have super dry under eyes, but regardless, I know my Tarte Shape Tape would not do this to me. But then we are going to be also using the concealer of Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade Cool Ivory, number 95. Just to add a little bit more brightening underneath the eyes. And then you do want to make sure you buff out the outer edges first and leave the inner corner for last, just because you do want it to sit there and just take to the skin a little bit more than the outer portions. And as always, make sure you take a water break. Stay hydrated. And then we are going to be going and using the Morphe M449 brush to go ahead and buff out that inner corner. And then of course, after we do have everything blended out, we are going to go in with my tried and true, my baby, the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade 05 Fair. If you want to talk about a flawless under eye from a drugstore perspective, the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder is my tried and true. It's the best. It's never failed me. It is a gorgeous finish. And then to set the rest of the face, we are going to be using the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NW20. It is such a gorgeous powder foundation that it has never failed me. Now we are going to be going in with the iconic London Blaze Chaser Face Palette. Unfortunately, there is no names, so I will show you which shades I will be using. I am going to go ahead and start with that bronzing shade. It's a gorgeous, muted, almost like a chestnut brown. It's not too muddy on the face and just leaves like a nice all-over glow. Now we are going to be taking the JS8 brush to go ahead and carve out our nose. We are going to be doing like a small light dusting over it. I didn't want to do anything too harsh or contouring. So we are just going to take that same bronzing shade and just slightly dust it all over the nose. And now we are going to go ahead and basically bake the nose. We're going to take that same Maybelline powder and we're going to go ahead and just carve out that schnozzle. And with me being a perfectionist, of course, that nose was a little crooked, girl. So we are going to go ahead and fix that. And then we are going to go ahead and start carving out those cheekbones. Now we are going to go ahead and let that bake sit for 350 for 10 to 15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. But once that bake is processing, we are going to be taking that blush shade in the palette. It's a gorgeous mauve-y, almost muted pink. It's not too bright, not too dark. But the only thing I did have a little bit of issue with, it was emphasizing my texture on my cheeks just a little bit. I think it was due to the shimmer. But regardless, it's a gorgeous shade. Oh, and look who it is. My little mini-me. I'm so obsessed with her. She just woke up from a nap, so excuse the bedhead. So, of course, kisses so mommy can finish her makeup. So then we are going to be taking a huge blending brush just to go ahead and buff out all that excess powder and go ahead and make sure everything is smoothed out. Now we are going to be taking that highlighting shade from the iconic London palette. It is such a gorgeous champagne color. It almost reminds me of the Champagne Pop from Becca Cosmetics. So gorgeous, does not emphasize texture, and just so beautiful. So now we are going to be taking those two red shades, the Party On and Heated Up from the Morphe palette, and we are going to be blending that on the under eye. Right now we are going in with that more berry shade, and then right on top we are going to be using that more of a red shade. Then I totally forgot. I forgot to do my brows. So we are going to be using the Morphe brow pencil. I believe it's in the shade Latte. So now we are going to be using the MAC shade called Naked Lunch just to go ahead and highlight the brow bone. This shade is so gorgeous. It's almost like an icy white mixed with like a champagne color. It's a beautiful, the hint of a pink undertone, just so beautiful for the brow bone. So now we are going to be taking the Ciate London Eye Kohl pencil. It's just a black shade. Honestly, any black eyeliner would do the job. But we are going to go ahead and put that in our waterline. Now we are going to be taking our Tarte mascara and we're going to go ahead and put that all over our bottom lashes. So of course, now we need to go ahead and set those brows. So we are going to be using the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade number 4. It's honestly so beautiful to have this brow gel. You can honestly have it by itself and just have those more bushier brows. But it honestly locks and loads those brows and still gives a little bit of color. Now we are going to be taking that same MAC shade. It's going to be in the color Naked Lunch that we did use on our brow bone. We'll go ahead and pop that in our inner corner. So lastly, we are going to be doing our lips. We're going to be using the MAC Fresh Brew Cream Sheen lipstick. And then on top of that, we are going to be using the Patrick Ta Independent. And if you guys have never tried the Patrick Ta Silky Lip Cream, definitely go pick one up. You will not regret it. And thank you so much for watching today's tutorial, you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, you guys.